we doing?
So, let's see here. I got to do some accounting. You took the Bucks to cover the 5.5 point spread. That's what you told me. You took the Bucks. You had a close score, and you were wrong. I said the Suns would cover, and I was right, so you owe me 2 cases. That's how you do it to me every day. You got this Shannon Sharp Memorial revisionist history. You say, that cost you 2 cases. I say, we didn't even bet on it.
But I see you coming, so I already know you're going to give me the sucker bets, so I just like going and throw them out there. You just,
really?
And you bite on them, so I got some. Yeah, I got something for your Sunday, too, just in case.
Do you good? I'm ready for Sunday.
Got something quick. Are we good with the accounting? We're good? Okay, I'm apparently wearing Suns colors subconsciously. This is the color I went with today because the Suns took advantage, yes they did, of home court advantage and went up 2-0 last night with a 118-108 win over the Bucks last night. Giannis at a game-high 42 points, but it was the Suns' combination of 81 points from Devin Booker, Chris Paul, and Mikal Bridges that was too much for Milwaukee to handle. Shannon, what's the biggest reason the Suns went up 2-0 here?
Again, Skip, I talked about this earlier. I felt the backcourts were going to be the determining factor. Giannis is going to get his points because they really don't have anybody that can stop Giannis one-on-one. Giannis is basically what he did in the regular season, 28 points, 12, 13 rebounds, five assists. So Giannis is going to be Giannis. The question was, can Holiday, can Middleton, can they help him? And what we've seen from the first 2 games, Book and CP3 has been sensational. And last night, the first night, it was Ayton. They gave him 22 and 19. Last night, it was Mikal Bridges that gave him 22 points. So who's going to come along with Giannis? Who's going to help Giannis? Giannis is averaging, 32 and 14 and 5. Skip, he can't do any more than that. But you look at Middleton, you look at Holiday. You can't win with this, Skip. 5 of 16, 11 points. Holiday, 7 of 21, 17 points, and he got 7 of those in the fourth quarter. And every time Milwaukee make a run, CP3 or Book or somebody from the Suns snuff it out. Skip, they got an opportunity. They got it down to 6. They get a couple of, the Suns get a couple of offensive rebounds. CP3 wide open in the corner. Hits a 3. Now it's back to 9. Milwaukee missed, come back down, lay it up a nice 11, and now Bud got to call a timeout. It seems like every time Milwaukee tries to counter, the Suns has another counter. The Suns are a really good basketball team. They're playing extremely well. And in the third quarter, Book and CP3 scores 22 or the 32. That's just too good when you're not getting what the production that you need from Middleton and Holiday. Skip, I've never seen anything like Chris Middleton in my life. And I followed the game of basketball for a very long time. But I think the thing is for us is that we keep trying to make him a superstar. And he's a very good player, but he's not going to give you the consistency of a superstar. So we got to stop it. Man, why is he so inconsistent? There's a reason why he went the second round, Skip. There's a reason why he was a throw-in on the trade. He wasn't the big part of the trade. He was the throw-in. So, and that's us. Well, I'm a part of the reason, but you keep looking, man, he's an all-star, though. All-stars are not supposed to have the heckle and jekyll like this because we've seen him be great. We've seen him go get 50. We've seen him get 38 and basically carried the Bucks down the stretch. And then we look at it like, bro, you do realize that this is the NBA Finals. This is not a regular season game here. Holiday, Skip, I don't know what Holiday. He got up 14 shots in the first quarter. He should not have as many shots as Giannis. He should not. And Bud, bruh, do you realize that they're shooting the 3? They're making the 3s. The only reason they're in the game in the first quarter, Skip, is that the 3 ball. Because Milwaukee is killing them on the glass. Offensive rebound after offensive rebound. Giannis is attacking the rim. But all of a sudden, they don't want to guard the 3. And they just hit 3 after 3 after 3. They're 6 and 6 in the first quarter. Kept them in the ball game. Now they go on this run in the second quarter, open the ball game up because they play it basically to a standstill in the second half. But the second quarter was the determining factor. But I believe the main reason that they won was because Book and CP3 was sensational again down the stretch. 14 of 26 in the second half, 53%. You let somebody shoot 53%, you're going to lose.
So, would you say that Giannis had a great game last night?
I thought Giannis played. Skip, he's going to be bad from the free throw line. Skip, I wish he could put one of these 16 to 18 free throw games together. I do. I wish he wouldn't shoot 5 threes and only one goes in, but the others are so bad. I wish that would happen. But Skip, he is what he is from the free throw line. I've given up saying he's going to be a 70% free throw shooter again.
Okay. So, let's presume, because the world is going to leap to this conclusion, that Giannis had a great game last night, at least a great box score game.
Yes.
And he is all about the box score bobs out there, because if you just try to do second-level analytics on Giannis, you start saying 42 and 12. And to your point, for the first 2 games, he's averaging whatever it is, 30.
Like 31 that he had 20. So.
Okay, I got it, but I don't get it. I stand by what I said going into this series. This team is not as good with Giannis as the centerpiece of it. I got to see it with my own 2 eyes. I got to eye test it in games 5 and 6 when their backs were up against the wall, because it felt like the Hawks had seized momentum in that series. And we saw what happened when the Hawks seized momentum against the Sixers. They took them all apart and left them in ruins with Ben Simmons on the trading block. My point was that this series is going to boil down to what you saw last night. You saw great chemistry with the Suns, right? It's not good, it's great. You see little to no chemistry with the visiting team last night. Am I right about that? It's awkward, it's weird, it's bizarre, but they have no chemistry because their leader is not a leader. And their former All-Stars don't star when the superstar Giannis takes over.
Right.
Because when he takes over, instead of following, they watch. They just stand back in awe, I guess, and they watch Giannis be Giannis. And I will give you this, especially if he can get out on the break and start running downhill at 6'11", long, strong. He is virtually unstoppable because if you're backpedaling, you can't stop him.
No.
If you've planted and you can get 2 in front of him, you got a shot.
Right.
If you can make him shoot jump shots, even though he made a couple last night.
You live with that. I can live with that.
You live. And certainly if you can get him to shoot 5 3-point shots, you can really live with that, because you're going to live to fight another day and another day and another day, because he made 1 out of 5. He also shot 1 that hit nothing but backboard, as in it missed the rim entirely.
It caught it. He got the rebound, put it back in.
He did. And he shot yet another free throw that hit nothing but air, right?
Yes.
So he's going to do that, and it's going to take a little bit of life and momentum out of your team that is watching you superstar at Phoenix in the NBA Finals.
Right.
So I kept trying to explain to everybody, look what happened against Atlanta. Look at the numbers that Chris Middleton and Holiday put up in games 5 and 6 against Atlanta. I'm going to repeat them again. Both guards averaged almost a triple-double in games 5 and 6 against Atlanta. You got to see them in all of their unleashed glory against the Hawks.
Right.
You got to see Middleton go 29, 9, and 8 in those 2 games. That's what he averaged for those 2 games. You got to see Holiday go 26, 8, and 11 assists in those 2 games, because they were free to do what they do.
Right.
They can shoot it, they can star it, they can drive it, they can do whatever they want to do with the basketball, because they don't feel that they are hinged to Giannis anymore.
Right. Okay.
And again, I like Brook Lopez in the low post. We saw him in game 5 go 14 of 18 from the floor. He's obviously not Giannis, but that worked against Capella, who's a pretty good defender, in game 5 against Atlanta. So again, on paper, do I say they're better without Giannis? Well, obviously they're not. I'm just telling you, they play better playoff quality caliber basketball without Giannis, because there's something weird going on here where everybody gets engaged, including Tuck, who will get you 10 or 12 rebounds when Giannis isn't on the floor, because maybe he feels like he's got to play a little more desperately and mix it up more.
Well, normally, Skip, he's playing closer to the basket. If you look at what he's guarding CP3, he's guarding Devin Booker, and those guys are on the perimeter, so his rebounds are going to be down. But you also have to take into account the Hawks aren't the Suns. And you're right. Yes, these guys play different when Giannis isn't on the court, but most teams play. Look at Paul George. Do you believe Paul George would have put up the numbers that he put up had Kawhi in there? Do you believe Reggie Jackson would have put up the numbers? So you look at Paul George.
They were putting up big numbers already.
But they didn't play like they played.
Obviously, Kawhi would have put them over the top.
Right.
And there's no doubt Kawhi is the best player on that team.
Right.
But Paul George is a fairly close second best.
Yeah, but,
and in this case, you can't really say those two guards.
No, they're not even close. They're not even close to Giannis. I mean, you can make that case about Paul George and Kawhi.
Okay.
You can't make this case about the other two with Giannis.
Okay, but here's the case I do make about Giannis. And again, he seems like a great young man, so this is 0